What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another video. And today I have a bit of a sensitive topic, and it may upset a few people, but it has to be said. I want to talk about agency accountability. I know, this is a necessary evil for most businesses, meaning in order to generate leads, generate sales without the help of affiliates or organic traffic, the only medium is paid traffic. And in most cases, you have to go through an agency to help you create the ads, run your ads, and of course, give you a positive ROAS or return on ad spend. But here's the problem. A lot of these agencies out there charge a ton of money on a retainer and request at least an average of about $2,500 to $5,000 in ad spend, plus a percentage of the revenue generated from their ads. Now, unless you're, able to spend 50 to 100 grand a month on ads, and you have a big enough business that can sustain that, then you should be fine. But in most cases, like the clients I typically work with, a $10,000 to $20,000 monthly nut in order that doesn't ROAS or doesn't positive ROI could put a person out of business, or what I've seen a lot of the cases, put them in a much worse situation. Now they have softwares with campaigns and funnels that are more than they need. This is why they had to pay what they paid. They've overcomplicated their business. A lot of the things that were connected may have to change now that certain softwares are no longer needed. So at the end of the day, they end up spending a ton of money, end up with a very complicated business without anything that generates revenue. Now, that's generally the outcome that I hear or the horror stories of working with different types of agencies. Now, I want to be very clear. Not all agencies are evil or they're bad, but I will say, based on my recent experiences, that a lot of them need a bit more oversight. And that is all up to you to decide before hiring an agency. So that's what I really want to talk to you guys about today, are the three main things you need to be crystal clear on before you go off and spend tens and thousands of dollars on an agency, and in most cases coming back with nothing. Okay. So the very first thing is setting very clear expectations. Okay. Now, there are two types of business owners. One that really dives into their fears and here's what I need done. And then they listen as the agency sells them on the solution to all of those things. What I mean by setting expectations is letting them know, hey, here's the budget that I'd like to send. Here's what I'd like to see. And here's the type of reporting I need to see daily and weekly. You need to be incredibly diligent and have incredible oversight, massive oversight. And if anybody's like, well, I don't like to have people look over my shoulder, you can't micromanage me, they are not the agency for you. The moment an agency asks, give me my flexibility, give me the space, I need 90 days, this is when you end up after 90 days wondering, why did I spend $35,000 or what did my $50,000 get me? That is what I'm trying to help you prevent, okay? There are plenty of agencies when you set super clear expectations and understand this is what the relationship needs to look like for me to feel okay. And here are the expectations that need to happen after 30, 60, 90 days. If any of this is unrealistic, please let me know and let me know what to expect after 30 days, 60 and 90, and hold them accountable to those goals. Okay. Delays are just another way of creating excuses. Now, if there are delays because you are not producing the content they need or the videos and it's all on you, then it's on you. But if they're delaying the process, you've already delivered everything they need and they're still not producing, do not allow yourself to go beyond the 60, 90-day mark. Okay. If what they're showing you after the first month and the second month are the same, things just don't magically change on the third, fourth, and fifth month. I've seen this time and time again. It's better use of your time to move on to the next relationship. Now, I also want to caution you guys of agency hopping, because what each agency does in terms of their campaigns, how they structure everything in your CRMs, it's like a very specific signature to each agency. Not all of them develop in the same way. Just not like all programmers code the same way. It's exact same with agencies. So if you get in bed with the wrong one and they're kind of just piecemealing and modulating things together without any foresight into how this all works in the big picture, this can essentially complicate things with your next agency to where they're going to have to scrap everything and start over again. So it's very important that anytime you work with an agency, that the way they build things, it's going to be a much simpler transition into the next agency. Okay. That's what you have to be very careful of. So as I want to recall again, expectation, setting clear reporting and metric goals, and then holding them to what they can tell you based on these expectations. Okay. Never put yourself in a situation where you are being sold and then without any clarity on how to get to that point. Okay. Because what they also end up doing is putting you into the same box they put everybody else that they're being successful with. Well, here's the problem. We don't all have the same business, products, the video acumen. Not everybody is really great on camera. So they can't just take what's worked for one client, duplicate it for you, and expect the same results. I see that all the time, and that is not going to work for you. Okay. The last one is going to be a little bit more controversial, a bit harder to establish, but it needs to be discussed. In a lot of cases, agencies do not have skin in the game, meaning you pay them a retainer. It is your ad dollars. And if things do not perform, or even if perform a little, they continue to get paid that same amount. Even if it's little revenue or zero revenue on the product side, they're still getting taken care of on the retainer side. And like all consulting businesses or agencies, a majority of the work happens in the first 30, 60, 90 days to get all of your campaigns ready, your ads, your videos. There's a lot of work that goes into that. But what also is the problem here is if none of this works, you're out all this money and they're still getting paid. So what I would suggest is that there needs to be some type of recourse in place, meaning if things don't produce after the goals you have set for us, then your retainer rates need to dramatically get reduced because you're no longer doing the same amount of work you did the first 30, 60, 90 days. Now, I understand that I'm a retainer-based business as well, but I have to constantly perform every month in order to establish my value, my ability to, ongoing retention with my clients. But if I just am a expense at the end of 12 months where none of the growth is happening, the campaigns I'm building are broken, everything that I've touched isn't working out well, then what is the value in the surface itself? Okay. So the idea here, guys, is to hold your agencies with extreme accountability, set super clear expectations. You need to do all the fulfillment so that you're not waiting on anything. Make sure that the reporting and there's transparency and reporting, and that there's some version of skin in the game if things don't perform as they've mentioned. Okay. And this is what I'll leave you guys with. If there's any agency out there that has a cancellation clause in there, run for the hills. Run for the hills, okay? It's another insurance policy for them in case they can't perform. That is ridiculous, okay? So I hope this was helpful for you guys. This hits a little bit closer to home. I'm dealing with a lot of clients right now that have struggled with certain agencies as I help navigate them to potential other relationships. This is what we do as a company. But the idea here is I really want to help caution those who are entering the education space, who are excited and are ready to take that next step, that they don't fall short and it just creates an overall bad experience, right? I've seen a lot of people exit the business because they spent all their money going down this route and it just didn't work out, okay? Again, spending a little bit more time than my traditional videos because this is such an incredible topic that can really save, someone who's watching this tens of thousands of dollars, or most importantly, just give you guys a bit more insight on the right types of questions to ask and the expectations to set. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I hope this was helpful to you guys today. If you're an agency out there, again, I work with you guys all the time, but I do believe there needs to be a ship that, or a tide that rises all ships. So hopefully you're that tide. I know there's a massive need for you guys out there. Hopefully this helps just create awareness all around. Thank you guys so much for watching. If it was helpful, remember to like, subscribe, follow us for more information as we release new videos every single week. Take care, everybody. I'll talk to you on the next one. Bye-bye.